All right, we're continuing our journey in the new studio office, and there was a bit of an upset today because I was supposed to go to IKEA to pick up all the tabletops and legs for what's pretty much going to be the new set. It's going to go against this wall, but they're out of stock, out of the tabletops that we need. So I have to wait another week or so until they're back in stock. The good news is that I now know the exact dimensions of the new set, so we can start organizing everything else around it, but there's still going to be a lot of items that we're just not going to have a place for until the set is built. But we can get some stuff done today. We're gonna try to clear out a lot of this pile, try to figure out where everything goes here. This big cabinet's still empty, so we're gonna populate that. I also need to move this thing. I need to scoot it over towards the sub breaker a little bit to make room for this part of the set. It's gonna be about 7 feet of desk against this wall, and then 18.5 feet of desk against this wall, and then another 7 feet coming out here with tables in front of it and stuff. It's gonna be a huge set, bigger than anything we've ever had before. And then also, I realized that I didn't actually unpack all of the inventory we had. I was actually kind of surprised that we still had so much empty space on these shelves. There's still a couple boxes that need to be opened and unpacked completely. Some of these boxes over here. And if we get around to it, I'm also gonna try to reorganize all of our large inventory, all the cases and monitors and stuff, as well as the office, a little office room, or this isn't the office room, this is the editing bay. The editing bay, which did have a desk in here, but I took it out so I could shoot some videos in there if I have to. But yeah, we'll try to put things where they belong, and overall just try to make this place feel less like a storage pod, which is what it is right now. But before we do any of that, I have to use the restroom really quick. Unfortunately, we still don't even have toilet paper in this place. So we're gonna kick this video off with a good old-fashioned TP run. Otherwise, you're gonna have to watch me unpack this whole place with one hand. All right, I'm glad that's taken care of. I feel a whole pound lighter. I'm gonna tackle the cabinet first and we'll just work our way from there. We're gonna see how far we get today. Hopefully we can get a lot of stuff done. It should be fun. Hopefully you like time lapses because that's what you're getting. This video is brought to you by the EVGA RTX 2060 KO. The card features 6 gigs of GDDR6 memory, a quiet dual fan design, and full metal backplate for added rigidity. Fast yet affordable, the RTX 2060 KO is built on NVIDIA's Turing architecture, allowing users to experience RTX on for next level realism in games. Click on the link below to learn more. All right, the cabinet is all filled up and it's looking pretty good, all nice and organized. I'm actually probably gonna have to get some more of these little bins because you can see that some of these things are just not containing everything that's in them. Everything from the display cables to my tools are just kind of overflowing. In fact, I should probably get a tool shed at some point. Also down here, it's kind of a mess, just cardboard boxes, not very organized. We've got like all of the LED strips that I've ever accumulated over the last 5-6 years and a ton of sleeved cable extensions, most of which are incomplete sets or just really, really old. So I need to sort through a lot of this stuff and sort of optimize things. I did leave a little bit of room behind the cabinet just so we can access the Ethernet port coming from the wall, which as you can see I've already plugged in. That's gonna go to a switch at some point, and then up here there's actually an outlet way up there. You can see it's already got the modem plugged in, but I'm eventually gonna run a power strip from that outlet up here. I might have to cut a little hole inside of this cage, the door of the cage. That way we'll have more outlets for a router and things like that. So yeah, still a little bit to do here, but man, it's amazing how good it feels just to get this one thing done. I know I still have like 99% of everything else to do, but progress is progress. You know what else is progressing? My stomach, cause I'm hungry. That didn't make any sense. Let's eat. The next thing I want to do is move these office cabinets into the entry room, which is where the sort of makeshift office is going to be. So we've got this big honkin' thing. I haven't even tried lifting it yet. We'll see how far I get. Wifey Sauce obviously isn't here to help me today. And then we've got 3 smaller cabinets that need to go in that room as well. I'm going to move the big one first, or at least I'm going to try to. I'd normally recommend 2 people moving these things, but here they are. Office cabinets in the office area. Voila, okay? They used to be there, and now they're here. I mean, if that doesn't give you an adrenaline rush, I don't think anything will. From here on out, it's just basic organization. I'm gonna move everything to this side of the room so we can clear up this area so that when the desks are finally in stock at IKEA, we can actually create our setup without too much interference. And yeah, little things like, you know, putting other stuff away on the product shelves and maybe organizing this if we get to that point. Should be a ball. This side of the room is all clear. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Still a train wreck over here, but we'll take care of that soon enough. The last thing I want to do here before I head out for the day is put tape down and outline where all the desks in the set are going to go, so it'll give me and you a visual idea of exactly how things are going to look. Do I have the tape measure? Where did I put the tape measure? Aha! Aha! All right, let's do it. All right, so here's the floor plan. This is where all the tables and desks are gonna be laid out. These 2 are gonna be the presenting tables, so I'll actually be sitting behind either one of these when I'm shooting. And they're both gonna be vertical desks. They're gonna be the only vertical desks in this whole setup, but it's gonna be really handy if I'm doing a build or I'm trying to shoot B-roll and just wanna quickly adjust the height of whatever it is I'm shooting. And again, I'm really gonna utilize the space as much as possible for filming, so sometimes I'll be shooting into this corner, sometimes I'll be shooting into this corner, and then occasionally maybe I'll even bring these 2 tables together and then shoot right in the middle. It really just kind of depends on what I put, you know, as far as decor and on the back walls. But then you've got another table here. I think I want to build like a fake wall to go on this side of the table just so it completely hides this mess, and then we can decorate that wall and it'll just be more of an enclosed space. It'll be better for sound as well. But there's gonna be one table here, another desk here. I keep saying table and I'm using table and desk interchangeably, but it's gonna take 3 desks to span the length of this wall. Each of the desks are 74 inches long, I believe, so total that gives us 18.5 feet from that wall to the end of the set. So 1, 2, 3. We're gonna have another desk here, and that's it. So together we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 desks in total for the new set. Hold on, you know what? Let me put a computer there for scale. So that's just a standard mid-tower Phanteks P500A, but you can see that it's a big space. We have plenty of shooting room. And what I'm also excited about is that I'm gonna try utilizing the space underneath the desks for storage. So a lot of this stuff, a lot of the stuff that's in these boxes and whatnot can actually get stashed underneath all of these desks against the wall. So that's gonna be really cool. If you guys have any ideas for how you'd like me to decorate this space or any fun things you'd like me to do with it, let me know. I'm gonna be reading all your comments and looking for inspiration because you know, I only have so many ideas right now. I've kind of just been so focused on just getting things unpacked that I could use your help on this. So I think my work here is done for the day. Let's bounce. All right, we're now at home and we've switched gears entirely. We're now looking at a computer screen because I wanted to give you guys a more detailed look at what I have in mind for the new film set. I actually kind of created the layout that I just showed you with the tape out design, but here it is in Photoshop. So I've kind of recreated it here with the cameras on this side, and these are the 2 presenting tables that'll be vertical desks, adjustable up and down desks, and then the rest are just static desks. But they're all the same desk. You'll notice that the ones on the sides, this one and this one, are actually a little bit shorter by about a foot than the other 5 tables. That's because I'm gonna cut them to size. If I make them too long, then it really encroaches on the film space. It's a fairly narrow room compared to how long it is. So I'm gonna cut those down. But you know, as I was just looking at this a moment ago, I kind of realized that this is kind of a bulky solution and maybe not as flexible as I'd like it to be with the 2 tables, the 2 presenting tables side by side here. For one, it makes it a little bit more difficult to walk in between them. There's just not a lot of room here. And also, I don't really need 2 presenting tables. I could probably just do away with one of them, or probably get away with one of them and put it on casters so that I could roll it, you know, to and from. If I want to shoot over here, I'll put it here. I can shoot in this corner. If I wanted to shoot dead center, I could do it right here. And you can, you know, on casters, you can really move it anywhere. You could even turn it like this. Maybe I want to shoot directly into this corner or over here. So I think this solution actually works a little bit better for me, and it's one less table that we have to buy. So that's always good. As far as like what I had in mind for the actual design or the decor, I was thinking of doing like an epic gaming setup right here, like quad monitor display, you know, fancy peripherals and all that, super sexy PC next to it. This corner, like I mentioned earlier, is gonna be like the workshop area. So when I'm doing builds, custom water cooling projects, I'm probably gonna put all the pegboards that are in our current set along this wall. So that'll still be there, but it'll just be moved to this wall. And then maybe this will be like some sort of wooden, maybe a wooden pegboard with more like metal shelving or something like that. I don't know, it's gonna look very like workshop-y. That's what I want anyway. And then, you know, epic gaming setup here. And then this is the more like kind of fun, formal, casual presenting area. So I'll have maybe a PC or two back here on display. You know, maybe I'll put Hotline 2.0 back here. And then maybe some floating shelves with, you know, I don't know. I have some pop figurines that I could put up there, some little LED, RGB gadgets and stuff like that. It'll just be kind of like a fun, whimsical corner. And then of course, like I'm still gonna have like my two monitors here for awesome hardware. So when Paul and I are presenting, I'll probably put the table over here, and then we'll have a very similar layout to what we have currently. Additionally, I'd like to talk briefly about the physical materials that I'll be using for these desks. So if you look over here on IKEA, I found these really nice, they're actually countertops, Carlby countertops, walnut veneer, and they're relatively affordable for what, the 74 inches that they span. That's roughly 6 feet or so. But then I noticed that they looked kind of familiar. And so I did some digging and was quickly able to find that this is the same exact tabletop that Random Frank P uses. Good old Frank, he's got, I knew that man had good taste. There it is, there's his desk right there. Here's a close-up shot of it. He does have the longer version, like the 92, or I think it's a 98-inch version, so it's really long. You know, at first I was like, oh, I have to find a different tabletop because I'm totally copying him. But then, you know, I realized there's very few tabletops that look this good for this low of a price. And I'm buying 7 of these. So you can imagine how quickly it'll rack up. I mean, I went on some like custom tabletop website where they cut everything to size and they're using the same kind of walnut here. And it was like $5,000 for everything that I needed. So this is closer to $1,000, much more reasonable. And I figure if I can switch it up in other ways, then, you know, it'll look like a completely different set still than Frank's. So I'm not gonna be using his, whatever he used here, the Alex drawers, also from IKEA. I'm gonna go with like a completely different theme. I'm gonna do black instead, black and walnut, as opposed to the white. So I'm using these trapezoidal legs for every table pretty much, except the vertical desk. And I really like these. They're very minimalistic and they kind of look sort of modern. The trapezoidal framing, I think, is gonna keep the tables from wobbling a bit more than just like straight, you know, peg legs. And I'm probably gonna mount the legs positionally in a similar fashion to what you see in this picture here, where they're gonna be sort of like recessed a little bit, maybe about a foot from the edge of the table. What that'll do, particularly for these 3 tables right here, you know, if I've got, let's say these blue lines are where I'm gonna mount the legs for these top 3 tables. So if I have the legs mounted like this, then I'm gonna have this gap. I'm gonna have this space. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna buy some filing cabinets or just some drawers that'll fit perfectly in between the legs of these 3 desks. Obviously it wouldn't make sense to do it over here because they're far into the corners and I wouldn't be able to access them quite as easily. But at least for right here and right here, actually, I think I've added that on Photoshop. So yeah, I actually did find a pretty good one. Where is it? Something like this would be perfect right in between those table legs, just to really ensure that I'm getting the most out of that space. Now again, while these metal trapezoidal legs are probably gonna be a lot sturdier than the straight legs, that doesn't mean that adjacent tables are occasionally going to be offset from one another. So I want the entire setup to feel as uniform as possible. I don't want this to feel like 5 different desks, at least for this C-shaped area. I want it to feel like one continuous and fluid set. So in order to sort of bridge these tables together, I'm gonna buy a series of these little hooks, these guys. table locks. You guys have seen these before. They just use a simple buckling system and they're really straightforward and easy to use. So these are gonna help just sort of align the tables together to ensure that while I'm using them, if I happen to move them around or push them, that they're gonna stay joined and solidly attached to the rest of the desks. Additionally, cable management is gonna be a huge thing here. I mean, with this many desks, there's gonna be a lot of tables. I'm gonna have monitors, computers, peripherals, other peripherals, just all kinds of things. Test beds. There's going to be a lot of wires, RGB stuff. I'm sure will just be lining this entire set. So cable management is definitely going to have to be considered. But you guys have probably seen these before. These are cable raceways. This one is from Yippee-ki-yay. So yeah, these are really straightforward to use. I think they're 15 inches. Yeah, almost 16 inches long. Comes with a pack of 6. I'll probably get like 2 or 3 sets of these so I can have maybe 2 or 3 of them under each desk. That way we have full coverage and can route cables cleanly the whole way through all around the set. I put links to all this stuff down below in case you guys are interested, but here's a quick example of how it can work, how these cable channels work. You can mount it to the back of your desk, underneath your desk. You can even mount them vertically like they've shown here. So a lot of options. On top of that, we need power. We need power strips. There are outlets, spaced out, I don't know, maybe 8 feet apart on each of the walls, which is great, but we're gonna need a lot more than 2 outlets per every 8 feet on this setup. So I'm gonna get a couple of these. I'm not sure if this is the exact model I'm gonna go with. It is pretty long, but it does have 9 outlets. It is a power strip and a surge protector, and it does have mounting points on the end so that you can physically mount it to the bottom of the desk. So again, cleaning up cable management wherever possible. These strips are a little long for me. I think it's like over 32 inches for one of them. But I do appreciate the fact that the outlets are spaced apart far enough that if you have bulkier AC adapters, you're not gonna run into any interference issues with the port or the outlet next to you. So again, I may or may not go with this exact model, but something like this for sure is going under each of the desks as well. And like I said earlier, my initial plan was to have 2 vertical desks. I was just gonna buy the exact same one that I already have, which is from Uplift. It's a fantastic desk. I've used it for years. I would highly recommend it. They have the V2 model now. I think I only have like the V1 or like the version 1.0 because I bought it a while ago. So I'm guessing this is the new and improved version. Looks exactly the same, but like I said, I'm gonna consolidate and probably end up only using the one up desk that I already have. So that'll save me roughly $500 from having to buy a second one. I will, however, be purchasing these soft roll casters for the up desk that I have because I want to be able to roll that table around like I mentioned. So these look pretty good. They can go over cables and stuff. Fortunately, we have all concrete floors at the new studio, so it's going to be a non-issue. It's going to be really easy to roll it around. And then finally, I was browsing around on Uline, which I found is a very dangerous website for me to be on anytime we move into a new office space, because they just have so much cool stuff for more of a warehouse / studio environment. And I came across this computer cart. It is awesome, and I'm going to buy one. Let me see. I think there's an actual video. I mean, it doesn't really need a video, but it's kind of fun to just watch the guy roll around with a little computer cart and stuff. Can we maximize this? Yes. 1080p. That does not look 1080p to me, YouTube. But anyway, here's some examples of what you can do with it. The reason why I want to get this is because anytime I build a fresh system and I'm ready to like plug it in and do a test boot or install drivers, right now it's kind of a pain because I just have to unplug all the peripherals from my streaming computer and then plug them into the fresh system. I would love to have just a computer cart with a dedicated set of peripherals, monitor, keyboard, and mouse, and whatever else, that's just sitting there, ready to go, and always available anytime I want to plug it into a freshly built system. So the fact that it rolls around on wheels is even better because I might be building a system in various places in the set. So something like this is actually going to be really useful. I love the fact that it's got a power strip on the side of it, and it's even got a few shelves for other things, for storage and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna get one of these. It is, what, roughly 200 bucks. Pretty reasonable, honestly. And everything I've bought from Uline is super solid quality. So yeah, those are the ideas that I've got floating around right now for the new set. Sorry if you found this incredibly boring. If you did, I'm sure you clicked out of this video a long time ago, but I know a lot of you guys are genuinely curious about what I have in mind for the new studio. So there you go. Hopefully that sheds a bit more light on it. I guess I'm gonna end the video here because I have nothing left to talk about. This was fun though. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more vlog updates or more studio updates. I cannot wait to start building the actual set as soon as those IKEA tabletops are in stock. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Toss a like before you go. Subscribe. Do all the things that good YouTube followers should do. And yeah, I'm gonna go do something productive now, like clean this room, because damn.